All right, so I was messing around earlier trying to install some packages for the virtual machine manager, which the package was named virt-manager, and I kept getting errors. So I've messed around trying to figure out what the errors were, and it turns out, I think, that the repository I was pulling from wasn't up to date, which is unusual. Usually they're pretty up to date, that they sync with each other for the latest packages. So before, instead of having, say, the basic debian.org server to pull packages from, I was pulling from the Oregon State University package list, which is closer to me than this one physically. Um, I switched. So I edited, still working on it here. Is that still working too? And that one is still working on writing Rocky to a USB drive. Let's bring up a new one. Let's put that up. Let's see. Right. So if I do a less on, actually, let's do a list on etc. Again, that's where uh, data about different software is listed, settings, excuse me. And then here I want apps. And let's just see what's in there. And let's do an ls -l long, which gives us more details. We can see I edited January 12th tonight, the sources list file, and here that tilde, November 30th, that was with a different editing package. So some editors save a backup of the file that you were working on, and they put a tilde on the end of it. But notice that that's probably not going to be the one I want. Let's just double check. And by that, what I want, I mean the previous version of the file I edited. And sometimes it's nice to have a backup to see, like, in case you made a mistake in editing, you can go back and see what it looked like before. At sources, and let's throw the tilde on there. Yeah, that file's empty. Okay, so let's not worry about that. And just jump in here. And so when I edited it before, it had, instead of the Debian, it was the OSU Debian repository. And they, for the main regular repository and the updates repository, OSU is not up to date. So I changed from OSU to the straight Debian one, which I think is somewhere in California. Which, given the fires in California, I'm surprised that one's still up and running. And now everything is loading correctly. So now I'm getting all the other packages I wanted, like, for example, the libnss was not loading before. I got a 404 on that because it was missing from the OSU repository. So switching repositories in my sources list fixed that problem. So in a moment, I should have access to the virtual machine manager. And then what I can do is connect that to a package that I downloaded. Get closer. So for example, if I ls list what's in my downloads folder, we can see that I have a couple versions of Rocky here. And the Rocky workstation here, I am going to load on a USB drive for a live Linux that I can just plug in any computer that'll boot from a USB. And the minimal install is going to be my alternate system on this computer. And the minimal install does not have a graphical user interface, which means it won't use as much memory and CPU power as a graphical user interface. And for most of what we need to do in this course, we do not need a graphical user interface. We need a command line. So given that my MSI computer is rather sluggish, this minimal install is going to be a much better thing for my virtualization system for another Linux version. So let's see where we at. Okay, that one's still writing to disk. This one is almost done, so we'll get back to you soon with the virtual machine manager. Nope. All right. Oh, let's try it. Okay, so virtual machine manager should now be installed. Cool. Let's check it out. All right. And again, this is a live experiment on a computer I have not done this on before, so who knows how shit's going to go. So I'm going to search for virt, and I don't have VirtualBox installed here, but I do have this virtual machine manager, which for Debian is the virt-manager that I was just trying to install. And my recollection is this was way easier to use. Notice this says it requires some special privileges beyond the regular user, so I have to enter my password. It's my password on this computer. It's this one. And again, I use different passwords on each computer I use, which is good for security reasons. And I guess it's good for my brain. Keep me agile. Okay, cool. We're in. All right, next thing, we want to see what we can do with the virtual machine manager. So we want a new virtual machine, assuming. All right, let's see. I downloaded an ISO image. You can also use, and I've tried this before too, you can just point to an online image and it will try to install it, which is wicked cool. But I already downloaded this, so I'm going to go with that first option. And then I need to find it. So let's go browse. So looks like we need to add. Okay. Interesting. Format. Okay, that's not what I was expecting there. Let's see, what am I missing here? Browse local. Maybe this is what I want. And I don't want the Rocky workstation. I want the Rocky minimal. That. Okay. Rocky 9, cool. All right, look good so far. The emulator. Do you want to correct this now? Oh, sure. All right, memory. Sure, let's try that. CPUs out of 8. Let's go up that to 4. All right, see what happens next. All right, I don't really need a lot of storage for this. Ooh, it says I only have 6 gigabytes available in the default location. It's not true. Let's set a bigger drive. Let's go double check that. Oh, go back. This says there should be 24 gigabytes available. I'm using 11. Should have more space than said I have here. Let's just take that back then. Let's just retype it. Let's just go for 6 and see what happens. So that seems like a little low. We'll find out. Yeah, typically the default options work pretty good. Let's finish it and see what happens. Yes, I would like to start it up now. All right, see if this works. And okay. So it says by pressing super escape. Super escape. Super might be control escape. We'll find out. So basically it's taking over my, hey, nice. It looks like I worked. Okay, so I want to install. So let's just hit enter. And again, this is just installing a virtual system in the space that I provided. using the virtual machine manager. And this could take a while, so I'm gonna have to come back for another video on this. Oh, that's pretty quick so far. That's working. Let's go check on other processes that are happening here. How is my copy going? It's getting there. So hopefully I will have a live Rocky on USB to plug into a computer later and just run Linux off that without installing. And occasionally things like this, you walk away and come back. They're probably checking that the download is complete, that it's not messed up in any way. Okay, looking good. Yeah, go virtual machine manager. This is an open source virtualization system as opposed to the one from Oracle, VirtualBox, or Microsoft's virtualization system, which I got to hand it to both Oracle and Microsoft. They give them away. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so we're doing English. English. To enter on the keyboard, proceed. Missing a button. Aha, missing a button. Let's expand the screen. And a lot of these systems, you can just use arrows and tab because not all of them are graphical. All right. Okay, localization, keyboard, English. That's good. Oh, down here. Okay, we have to installation, destination, automatic partitioning selected. Yeah, let's not worry about partitioning. Let's just go with automatic and say we're done there. And then root password, definitely want to do root password. Let's do root is God. And you should write this shit down because losing it can give you problems. Lock root account. I'm not going to lock it. Allow SSH. No, never allow SSH root logins. Okay, that was bad. That would be bad. Don't do that. Big security flaw. Come on, honey. Come on, you can do it. Did I not type the right password? Am I pushing my computer too hard? Check. Okay, there we go. User creation. You should definitely make a user. Full name, Gary. Oh, full name, Gary Paca. Sure, it's fine. Password. This I ain't telling you. How about um, don't use all the same password or The Russians and the Chinese will get you. We're ready to install. Cool. Okay. This part could take a while. So again, this was installation of VirtualBox take 3 because I had some problems with my repositories, but that's life. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I will catch you soon. Take care, do good computing. Adios.